Why do you differentiate between the mind, between the brain and the mind? Why do you differentiate between the mind, between the brain and the mind? I'm afraid this has to be the last question. There are several left over, but this has to be the last one. First of all, what is the brain? Remembering that we're not professionals. We're ordinary people who are not brain specialists, including the speaker, though he has talked to brain specialists. But they go so far, but leave that. The speaker is not underlined, brain specialist. So we are asking each other, what is the brain? Not the structure of the brain, physical, biological structure of the brain. Left side, right side. Left side has been used much more than the right side. Right side is the new brain, you follow? Can receive new information and so on. I don't know anything about it. It may be, may not be. But what is this, the thing that we live with, which is in operation in our daily life? What is this function of the brain in our daily life? Not superior consciousness, lower consciousness, bringing the superior consciousness down to the lower consciousness. You know that game? That's what the gurus play, that game. They help you to bring down the higher consciousness to lower consciousness. Or from the lower consciousness, right, through meditation, through following, through doing certain practices, reach the higher consciousness. We are not doing all that kind of thing. We'll come to presently what is consciousness later. You don't mind going to all this? What is the function, daily function of our brain? Your brain, not my brain, your brain, the human brain. Whether you live in Switzerland, America, or Russia, so on, or India, or Far East. What goes on in our daily life, which is the exercise of the brain, exercise of thought, exercise of choice, exercise of decision and action. We're not talking about action as I explained it. Cut that out. So, wherever we live, the activity of brain plays a great role in our life. Right? So what is this brain? We are laymen, amateurs. Look at our own brain, action and reaction, right? Sensation, condition from the past. I'm a Hindu, you're a Christian, I'm Buddhist, you're a Muslim, and so on. I belong to this country and you belong to that country, right? I am Catholic, you are a Protestant or a Muslim or a Buddhist or this or that. I believe very strongly. I have come to certain conclusions. I stick to that. My prejudices are strong. My opinions are strong. And I'm attached. I want to fulfill. I want to become something. So look, that's our daily routine and much more. And the anguish of anxiety the bitterness of anxiety, the pragmatism of anxiety, the loneliness, tremendously depressing, and escaping from that loneliness through television, books, rituals, temple, church, mosque, right? God. Conflict, 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 right? That's what the brain is caught up in all the time. It's not being exaggerated. We are facing facts, right? It is so. So the brain is the center of all this. The nerves, the memories, the nervous responses, like, dislike, I hate, I am hurt, follow? It is the very center of all our existence, emotionally, imaginatively, art, science, you follow? Knowledge, right? So that brain is very, very limited, and yet it is extraordinarily capable. Right? Technologically, incredibly it has done. Right? Things it is unimaginable 50 years ago. So all that is the activity of the brain. Condition, living within that conditioning, religious, political, business, surgical, and so on. It's all very limited. Concern with oneself, self-interest, self-serving, in the name of God, in the name of all the rest of it. Right? Are we clear? This is obvious. It says I'm materialistic, and all says no, no. I am better than that. There is soul. To use the Sanskrit, there is an Atman. And so on, so on. So, consciousness is that, right? People have written books and books about consciousness, professionals, non-professionals. But we are not professionals. We are dealing with what is. Consciousness is its content, right? What it contains makes consciousness, right? It contains anxiety, belief, faith, bitterness, loneliness, jealousy, hate, violence, all the qualities, the experiences of human beings. That's consciousness. That consciousness is not yours because they share it all. This is difficulty where you will find it difficult. Every human being on this earth, whether they are the most poorest, ignorant, degraded, and the most highly sophisticated, educated, have this problem. They may put on robes and crowns and all the circus, but remove all that, they are like you and me. Conflict, annoyance, right? So we share the consciousness of every human being in the world. I know you won't accept it, but doesn't matter. This is a fact. Because you suffer, and that village in India which lives on 1 meal a day, 2 clothes, he also suffers. Not in the way you suffer, but it's also not the way he suffers. But it's still suffering. Right? It's still suffering. Your memories may be different from the other, but it's still memory. Your experience may be different from another, but it's still experience. So, your consciousness is not yours. It's the consciousness of the entire humanity psychologically. You may be tall, you may be fair, I may be black, I may be purple, but still that consciousness is common to all of us, right? Psychologically. So, you are the entire humanity, not space and all that nonsense. You are the entire humanity. You know what that means? If you accept it as an idea, then you are away. You move away from the fact, from the truth of it, from the reality, the substance of it. When there is that reality, truth, that you are the rest of mankind, you are the rest of mankind. You understand? Then the whole movement of life changes. You will not kill another. Then you are killing yourself. There was an American or forgotten general at war. He was going to war, and he faces the enemy. And he says, he reports to the boss, we have met the enemy. We are the enemy. You understand? We have met the enemy across the fields, but we are the enemy. The enemy is us. So, when there is this truth that you are entire humanity, right? Sleep with it. Go into it. Feel your way into it. Don't deny it or accept it, but as the river flows, go into it. You will see what deep transformation takes place, which is not intellectual, nor imaginative, nor sentimental, romantic. In that sense, there is tremendous sense of compassion, love. And when there is that, you act according to that supreme intelligence.